It's Father's Day here on the Sideline Crowd. Coming at you from Coors Field as the Rockies take on the aptly named San Diego Padres. In Game 3 of this weekend series, Rockies coming in having won games 1 and 2 in this series, as it'll be John Gray taking on Garrett Richards. Rockies looking for the sweep here this afternoon. Skylar Timmons joining you this afternoon as John Gray will get the start, making his 15th appearance. He's 3-4 with a 5.47 ERA, 65 strikeouts, 42 walks for a 155 WHIP, 70 hits allowed in 72 innings of work. So John Gray looking to really bounce back continually. He's been in a bit of a rough spot as of late. He'll face off against Will Myers, who will lead things off for the Padres. Meyer leading the team with 12 stolen bases. Hit .317 on the year, 15 homers, 43 RBIs, and a bounce-back season for the right fielder. As we're just about to get underway here this afternoon as Gray kicks and deals, and a big swing and a miss. Rockies coming into this one 33-43. They've won the first 2 games of this series. Gray winds and deals. This one's a line shot back into center field. Dahl cuts it off. He'll throw it back in, and it's a leadoff single for Will Myers to start the afternoon. Pitch down the middle, and Will Myers, who swings a hot bat, gets the leadoff single. Greg Garcia, the batter now. The second baseman, he's hitting .306 on the year, 2 homers, 12 RBIs, .414 on base percentage. Well, Gray in his last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals, as this one's a soft liner to second. McMahon makes the catch, and there's one away. Get a look here at the Padres starting lineup. Will Myers leads things off, then Greg Garcia, the second baseman, followed by Fernando Tatis Jr. At shortstop, Manny Machado bats fourth, Josh Naylor's in left, Francisco Mejia's behind the plate batting sixth, Trent Grisham in center field with Eric Hosmer. Or, correction, Jurickson Profar is playing first base today, as Tatis swings and drills this one out to left field, and this one's gone. Fernando Tatis Jr. with his 19th homer of the year. It's a 2-run shot, and the Padres take a 2-0 lead to start this one. Wasting no time getting to John Gray. Gray sort of left that one over the heart of the plate, up and in, and Tatis, who saw him last year, having that hot bat, just turns on it and drills into the left field. I'm looking at the third baseman, Manny Machado. Bit of a bounce back so far this year. .258 average, 15 homers, 51 RBIs. Hit .348 in his last 6 games. Signed that big 10-year deal prior to last season. Pitch misses low, ball 1. That one runs outside, 2-0. Look at the umpiring crew today. Ed Drummond behind home plate. The 2-0 swinging a line shot back into center field. That's going to go to the wall for extra bases. Dahl gets it. He'll throw it back in, but Manny Machado is in with a 1-out double. The Padres hitting the ball hard against John Gray. Will Myers led off with that hard single. Fernando Tatis Jr. drilled one into left, and then Manny Machado squares one up. Lines it into center. First pitch misses outside to Josh Naylor, the left fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one is drilled, but this one's going to run foul. Evens the count at 1. John Gray is going to have to figure something out here against the Padres. They're squaring him up, hitting it really hard. That tells me that he's leaving it over the plate and relying a little too much on the fastball. Gets that pitch in there for the called strike. 2-2. Runs that one outside and runs the count full. Francisco Mejia waits on deck. Check swing, popped out into right, and Blackman's there to make the catch. And two-way, jammed him. I'm bringing Francisco Mejia in 231, 10 homers, 33 RBIs on the year. Third in the National League in All-Star voting for catchers. Here's the first pitch to Mejia, misses up and away, ball 1. Well, Mejia against Gray is 5 for 9 with a home run. Mejia really getting his first bout as a starting catcher this season. Usually it's been Austin Hedges, slow roller to second. McMahon's got it, jumps and throws, and that will retire the side. But Fernando Tatis Jr. hits a long tater to get the Padres on the board in this one. They lead it 2-0. We head to the bottom of the first. Garrett Richards getting the start today for the Padres, making his 16th start. He's 3-5 with a 5.03 ERA. 82 walks to 40, or 82 strikeouts to 44 walks. Kind of an even matchup between him and John Gray. See if the Rockies can have the same success offensively, as David Dahl will lead things off for the Rockies here in the first. And Richards starts him out with a curveball, and he's ahead 0-1. Padres first in the West at 45 and 33, just ahead of the Dodgers. Kind of a surprising start for them to this season. 0-1 misses high, 1-1 misses with the fastball. Dahl takes this one down the line, but it runs foul. 1-2. Dahl's had he's kind of turning things around as of late still, as he takes this one the other way into center field, beating the shift, finds the hole, and the leadoff man's aboard. Doing things like that, he's been making good contact, squaring up the ball. Sending it. It's a slow dribbler back up the middle, but that'll work. Over you have Daniel Murphy. Home run in yesterday's game. A 3-run homer. Pitch misses inside. 1-0. Murphy, 244 average, 10 homers, 40 RBIs on the year. He's been getting a little bit more playing time as of late. Getting back in there after Brendan Rodgers started struggling. Ryan McMahon and his hot bat is back over at second base today. Outside 3-0. Delivery coming up to Murphy. Chet holds off on the swing, but it's a called strike on the outside corner on that fastball. And ball 4 misses outside. Tried to get him to fish at the changeup down and away, but he lays off, so that puts 2 men aboard for Nolan Arenado. There's Nolan Arenado, third in the National League in third baseman all-star voting. His average has dropped to 288. He's 14 homers, 47 RBIs. Kind of in a bit of a slump as of late at the plate. It's kind of cooled off. it's hard when a lot of your lineup, he just hasn't been getting very good pitches to hit. So it's hard when in that lineup, he doesn't have much protection. Luckily in this situation, Arenado's hitting to 10 double plays this season. And in this situation, he's got 2 men on, nobody out. First, the 1-0 to Arenado. Called strike the letters. 1-1. Well, throughout this game, maybe throughout it, I've got a list of dad jokes. We'll talk about the greatest father-son duos in baseball. Arenado falls behind 1-2. We'll touch on some of the news later. 1-2 runs outside. 2-2 now on Arenado. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Sends this one out deep to center field. And he'll miss it. That's going to get down. Dahl's going to have to stop at third. The center fielder, Trent Grisham, misplayed that one. Lost it in the sun, perhaps. Just threw his glove up. But because of that, Dahl's not able to score, so that loads the bases here with nobody out for Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon at a .386 average, 17 homers, 54 RBIs, second in All-Star voting. Great opportunity here for the Rockies. They put up 3 runs in yesterday's game, winning 5-0 against the Padres. Armand Marquez throwing a 2-hit shutout. For some reason, they don't do well when we broadcast them. We never get to see those kinds of things. 0-1 the count now on Blackmon. Here's the 0-1. He gets a piece of that one, but fouls it off. It's 0-2. The 0-2 to Blackmon misses low. It's now 1-2. The 1-2 delivery. That one runs outside with the fastball. 2-2. Well, in this situation, Richards kind of living on the outside part of the plate, just trying to get Blackmon to bounce one over to the third baseman or Tatis to get the double play started. And this one's going to turn into that double play. Just the way they chalked it up. And meanwhile, Dahl scores, so the Rockies get a run back, but it comes at the cost of 2 outs. So I'll bring up Trevor Story. Went down, fastball down. Blackmon just beats it into the ground. A slow roller to Fernando Tatis Jr., who was able to get that double play started pretty quickly. Trevor Story stands in now. He's been hot as of late with the long ball. Coming in with a .228 average, 11 home runs, 37 RBIs. Had a couple of home runs in St. Louis. Had one in game 1 of this series with the Padres. But he bats now with a man at third, 2 outs. And a first pitch swinging two-seamer away. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to Story, who fouls off the fastball. Again, you see Garrett Richards is kind of staying on the outside part of the plate with a lot of these batters. Playing to their weaknesses, get him to hit slow rollers the other way. And he strikes out Story on 3 straight pitches. So that'll end the inning. Rockies get a run back. We head to the top of the second. 2-1 the score. Trent Grisham, the center fielder, will lead things off against John Gray here in the second. Like I said, I've got a bunch of cheesy baseball dad jokes here. I'll start and end every inning with one if I can. I'll start you with this one. Which animal is best at baseball? It's the bat. Pitch misses inside, 2-1 the count. I'll just let those sink in for you. Here's the 2-1 to Grisham. Fouls that one off. 2-2. I'll go out with another one. If you sing while playing baseball, you might not get a good pitch. As Grisham didn't get a good pitch there to hit. Runs the count full, 3-2. Bounces that one foul. Keeps the count full. Payoff pitch to Grisham. Swing and a miss. Got him with the old Uncle Charlie. And there's out number 1 to start the second. Just fooled him with that curveball. It's a big drop on that one. That's probably the best curveball I've seen from John Gray in a while. And I'll bring up Jurickson Profar playing first base today. Eric Hosmer not in there. Profar hitting .230 on the year, 4 homers, 20 RBIs, .311 on base percentage. Called strike the letters. 1-1. Well, it is Father's Day. We've got some jokes, and then, as always the talk around Major League Baseball is the classic father-son duos that are out there now. So we're seeing that, and legacy players coming in. Pitch runs outside, 3-1. Where it seems like if your father was a professional baseball player before you're going to get drafted by the Blue Jays. They have 3 of them. Bo Bichette, Cavan Biggio, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. As Profar takes ball 4, so he'll trot down to first with a 1-out walk. Where you've got 2 sons of Hall of Famers, and then Dante Bichette, who is a 4-time All-Star. Dante Bichette of Rockies fame, as Garrett Richards stand in with 1 out in a sacrifice situation. As he bounces this one straight back, 0-1. All 3 of them had pretty successful rookie campaigns this season. This is hit hard to first. Murphy turns and goes to second, but no, they don't get anybody. Questionable call there from Daniel Murphy, but it seemed like that was his only play. Gray slow off the mound. Didn't really have time to try and... Well, looks like Murphy thought he had a chance to get the lead man, but instead there's 2 men aboard with 1 out for Will Myers, who singled into center field, came around to score on the home run. But we've got a lot of other players. There's Cam Bredosian, Delino DeShields Jr., D. Gordon, Cal Quantrill, Derek Rodriguez, Travis Shaw, Fernando Tatis Jr., Mike Yastrzemski, who's the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski. But MLB.com has compiled a list of the top father-son duos. Top 10 it looks like, and we'll start at the bottom with number 10. 1-1's in there, 1 and 2. Well, starting in number 10 is we got the fielders, Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder. Mostly known for being big sluggers. This one's grounded to short. Story will turn the double play, and that will retire the side. No harm done as the Padres get a couple of men aboard, but that double play ends the inning. The old 6-4-3. We head to the bottom of the second. 2-1 the score. So Ryan McMahon will lead things off. Really turned things around in June. He's hitting .385, 5 homers, 16 RBIs. Having a very good month of June. As the first pitch swinging, hits it over to third, backhand by Machado. And there's out number 1. I'll bring up the left fielder, Sam Hilliard. Cecil Fielder placed second in the American League MVP race with the Tigers in 1990 and 91. Then hit a combined 95 home runs and drove in 265 in those years. This one's popped up on the infield. Easy play there for the second baseman. And there's 2 aways. Greg Garcia makes the catch. Rockies going down quickly this inning. Then Prince Fielder reached the 50 homer mark in 2007. Had a career 134 OPS plus. But then a neck injury forced him into early retirement in 2016. And Tony Walters drills this one into right field for a home run. Just his second homer of the year. But Tony Walters ties this ball game up at 2. Chalk that one up for the good guys. First pitch he sees from Garrett Richards, just crushes it. Fastball up, and Walters does have that power in him. Manages to just muscle it out. So with 2 outs here, I'm going to have John Gray. First pitch swinging, bounces that one foul. But yeah, Prince Fielder had to retire in 2016. Remember, because he always remember him with the Brewers, and then that time he spent with the Tigers. So I was with the Rangers for a little bit. The 1-1 to Gray, swing and a miss, 1-2. But a very good father-son duo. Swing and a miss. Gray sat down on strikes. But Tony Walters, with the big fly into right field, ties this game at 2. We head to the top of the third. Also, did you hear the joke about the pop fly? Forget it. It's way over your head. Just like that one to Trent Grisham. So Greg Garcia will lead things off for the Padres. Called strike there, 0-1. Also, what do you get when you cross a tree with a baseball player? Babe Ruth. That one's not bad. These are unbearable, but that one's not bad. Pitch misses low, 2-1. Moving on in our father-son duos. It's the 2-1 to Garcia, misses low, 3-1. Coming in number 9, Dizzy Trout and Steve Trout, no relation to Mike Trout. Dizzy spent most of his 15-year career with the Tigers. As Arenado knocks this one down, but they're not able to get the out, but nice attempt there. Arenado knocked it down off the tip of his glove. But there's a man aboard now for Tatis Jr., who hit a 2-run homer his first time up. Takes called strike 1. 0-1. A quick side note, Fernando Tatis Jr., his father is the only baseball player holds the record for hitting 2 grand slams in 1 inning. His father, Fernando Tatis, doing that with the Cincinnati Reds, I believe, hitting 2 grand slams in 1 inning, which that is a pretty incredible feat. Here's the 1-2. With the curveball down and out, well outside. Evens the count at 2. Badizzi pitched in more than 500 games, 2-time All-Star, MVP runner-up, as Tatis Jr. swings and misses at the slider. Manny Machado. 1 out, man at first, 2-2 the score. He's going. Runner takes out for second, but Machado swings and fouls it off. 0-1. Dizzy also led the American League with 40 starts, 33 complete games, 351 in the third innings, and a 2.12 ERA. In 1944, I believe. Then Steve, first 8th overall pick, started more than 200 games. This one's lined into left. That's going to be down for a base hit. Machado line into second. The throw comes into third. And that's a 1-out double for Manny Machado. 15th double of the year. So really squared that one up. Gray's already given up 5 hits. All of them hit hard. 48 pitches so far in 2 1/3 innings. Steve Trout pitched more than 200 games over 12 seasons. Josh Naylor watches ball 1. Then we got Sandy Alomar and Roberto Alomar. That's their next ranking, coming in at number 8. That misses outside 2-0. Sandy Alomar was mostly known for his glove and base running. Had 227 steals over 15 seasons. This one's hit well foul. Sandy Alomar Jr. became a Rookie of the Year. 6-time All-Star catcher as Murphy knocks that one down, and the run will not score. So good job there. Bad base running by the third runner at third, so 2 outs for Francisco Mejia, who's been held hitless in this series. And here's the first pitch. Curveball misses in, 1-0. And then Roberto developed into a Hall of Fame second baseman. 12 straight All-Star appearances. Had 10 Gold Gloves and won a pair of World Series titles with the Blue Jays in 92 and 93. Here's the 2-0 to Mejia. Catches the knees. 2-1. Big at bat here for John Gray, trying to get out of this thing with the game still tied. This one's hit well foul. 2-1. He's living dangerously. Luckily, the Padres are fouling off a lot of these pitches. Another 2-2 misses outside. That'll run the count full. Trent Grisham waits on deck. Here's the 3-2, and high and away, misses with the curveball, couldn't get on top of it. And that's going to load the bases. Steve Foster, the pitching coach, is going to come out to talk to Gray. As Trent Grisham, the center fielder, will come up now. Grisham struck out back in the second, so bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the third. We're tied at 2. Gray is at 58 pitches. Got Garcia at third, Machado at second, and Mejia at first. 1-0 the count on Grisham. Bouncer back to the mound. Gray just throws it home, and that will retire the side. So the Rockies get out of the bases loaded jam. We're still tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Also, never hit the ump. The umpire strikes back. David Dahl will lead things off for the Rockies. It's 1-for-1, single, came around to score. Padres playing in the shift, and Dahl took it in that space in between Machado and Tatis Jr. And as he gets under this one, lifts it out to left field. Back goes Naylor, and he makes the catch. And Dahl's retired. I mean, Daniel Murphy walked his first time up. Pitch misses low, 1-0. Now misses inside, 2-0. This one's hit into center field. Back goes Grisham. This is going to get down for extra bases. Murphy will stop at second, and it's a stand-up, one-out double for the Rockies' first baseman. His 13th double of the year. And Trent Grisham having a rough go of it out in center field. I'm bringing up Nolan Arenado. He had a long single over the head of Trent Grisham to load the bases. First pitch swinging, bouncer back up the middle, but nice diving stop by Tatis. Nice throw there. Slow dribbler, he dives and makes the stop. And then hops to his knees to make the throw. Gets Arenado quite a bit. Keeps Murphy at second, so there's 2 away for Charlie Blackmon, who grounded into a double play his first time up. Next inning, we'll talk a little bit about this day in Rockies history, so to speak. The blast from the past. There's only one that we can really talk about right now. You can probably guess it. Here's the first pitch to Blackmon, who gets the call in the down and in on the curveball. Strike one. 0-1 to Blackmon. Rockets that one foul, 0-2. Runs well outside. 1-2 the count. I'm just going to keep throwing out these dad jokes. Did you hear the joke about the fast pitch? Forget it, you just missed it. Ba-dum-tsh. 1-2 the count now on Charlie Blackmon. And they said he went around. Strike 3, so that will retire the side. Blackmon strikes out. We head to the top of the 4th, still tied at 2. 8-9-1 due up for the Padres here this afternoon at Coors Field on this beautiful Father's Day game. Here at the Sideline crowd, we'd just like to send the shout out to all the dads and the fathers who introduced us to the game, continue to support us, are always the biggest fans, and helping us all in our journeys, whatever they may be. So this day's for them. Jurickson Profar will lead things off. He walked his first time up. Pitch misses low, ball 1. The 1-1 to Profar. Check swing there, but it's a called strike on the fastball. 1-2. And a called strike 3 drops the curveball in. Just freezes Profar. And so there's out number 1 to start the inning. Nice pitch there from John Gray. That curveball's working. I'll bring up Garrett Richards, who reached his last time up. Takes called strike 1. One is a ground out, but Daniel Murphy tried to go to second on the bunt play, but throw was late, and he beat out the return throw. So there's nobody on. 1 out for Garrett Richards. 1-1 delivery from Gray. And a big swing and a miss at the fastball. Comes up empty. It's 1-2. Well, this day in Rockies history, not necessarily this exact date, but Father's Day back in 2017. Talking Father's Day 2017, which was on... But everybody knows Nolan Arenado in 2017 hits for the walk-off cycle on Father's Day against the Giants, ending the game with a walk-off home run that won the game, completed the cycle, as John Gray commits the cardinal sin of walking the opposing pitcher. Couldn't control and couldn't get him to chase. Garrett Richards has swung a bit of a better bat this season, but now there's a man aboard for Will Myers with 1 out. Myers 1 for 2 with a single. But Nolan Arenado, just that memorable image of, he accidentally spiked himself with his helmet. And so you had the blood rushing down the side of his face, and he's screaming at the crowd. But a great game. He tripled in the first inning. That's the hardest one for Arenado. He doesn't run particularly well. So tripled in the first, then singled back in the fourth. Then he doubled in the sixth for the Rockies' first run. All of a Giants starter Ty Block. 1-2 the count on Will Myers. Then the Giants scored 3 runs in the top of the ninth for a 5-3 lead. Arenado was due up 5th in the ninth. This one's skied out to right field. Blackman moves under it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So Tapia got a hit. Blackman and DJ LeMahieu both singled, with the runners at the corners drove in a run to make it a 5-4 game, and then Arenado, who was due up 5th that inning, hit the first pitch fastball off the plate inside for the 8th cycle in Rockies history, 17th cycle in the history of Coors Field. It's also the first walk-off cycle in the majors since Carlos Gonzalez did it in 2010 against the Cubs. That was just a phenomenal outing. I remember seeing that home run. The replay and whatnot. Here's the 1-1. This is hit back up the middle for a base hit. Greg Garcia. First pitch he sees, just hits it right back up the middle. I'm bringing up Tatis Jr. It's 1 for 2. Had a home run back in the first. See, watches that pitch inside, ball 1. It's always exciting when you have a cycle, and then just the nature of that. I know it's against the Giants, a walk-off home run to win the game, and not only that, you get the cycle. Very special moment for Arenado. Probably one of his most iconic things he's done with the Rockies. It's a very iconic moment. Here's the 2-0, 2 Tatis. Watches that pitch for strike one. Very exciting. Moving on next on our list, here's the 2-1. Talk about it after this pitch. This one's bounced foul. We got number 7 coming in at Gus Bell and Buddy Bell. 2-2 is grounded to third. Arenado throws on to second, and that will retire the side. Padres get a couple men aboard, but nothing more. We head to the bottom of the fourth, still tied at 2. 5, 6, and 7 do it for the Rockies. As Trevor Story will lead things off, struck out back in the first. The next on our list, we've got Gus Bell and Buddy Bell. The Bells have 3 generations of major leaguers. Gus was a 4-time All-Star outfielder with the Reds in the 50s. Then Buddy Bell won 6 Gold Gloves at third base and produced 4 seasons of at least a 6 wins above replacement WAR. Only 9 players who have spent at least 2/3 of their career at third base have accrued more value. Pretty exciting for them. There's 3 generations of Bell major leaguers. 3-0 the count now on Trevor Story. McMahon waits on deck. Called strike down the middle. 3-1 the count. This one's fouled back. 3-1 the count. Got another joke for you. Did you hear the joke about your pitching style? Never mind, it's foul. And a called strike 3 at the letters. So Story, who is ahead 3-0, watches called strike 3 at the letters for out number 2. Second strikeout of the game for Story. I'm bringing Ryan McMahon. See here at the bottom of your screen, Charlie Blackmon leads the league in hits. 101. McMahon ground out back in the second. Also, do you know where does the catcher sit for dinner? Behind the plate. Pitch runs up and in, 2-0. 99 on the gun for that fastball. Richards at 47 pitches. He hasn't had to labor as much as Gray has. Runs high, 3-0. The count now on McMahon. Same situation he was in with Story. Then he came back to strike Story out. Called strike down the middle. Next thing we'll talk a little bit about news. Not too much, though. Fouls this one off. That'll run the count full. Popped him up. Foul territory. In comes Machado. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So another ahead 3-0. And it ends in an out. So I'll bring up Sam Hilliard. Popped out back in the second. He's 1 for 8 in the series. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Or the first pitch to him. 2-2's the score. It's called strike at the knees. This is down again. 1-1. And a called strike there on the curveball. 1-2 the count. And a called strike 3. Got him looking at the fastball. That'll end the inning. We're still tied at 2. Through 4, we head to the top of the 5th. Padres coming up. as Manny Machado will lead things off. Pair of doubles in this one for him. Yency Almonte warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Gray just trying to get through the 5th inning. Machado squared up a pair of pitches and hit him into center field. And here's the first pitch from Gray. And it just misses the bottom of the zone. Gray at 85 pitches. That's kind of been his Achilles heel, is just not being very efficient with his pitches. This one's hit out to center field. Dahl's there to make the catch, and Machado's retired to start off the 5th. Josh Naylor will come in now, 0 for 2. Well, in terms of news in Major League Baseball and whatnot, it's kind of been an interesting week. Last time we broadcasted, they were talking about Rob Manfred and Tony Clark sitting down in Arizona talking about a deal. Well, then the players saying no, there's no deal. And so there's just kind of negotiations talking. There was a proposal that I believe was for a 70-game proposal or something that was rejected. And then I believe the MLB PA was set to vote on a 60-game proposal over the weekend, because I think the owners have realized they need to pay the players the full prorated salaries. But then it's just a matter of how many games are you going to play. That runs inside, and Naylor will trot down to first with the 1-out walk. Not what Gray needed. He's at 91 pitches. He faced Francisco Mejia. It's 0 for 1 walk in this one. So that's about all we know. So that's kind of on the forefront. But then there are also reports that really the facilities, spring training facilities, being closed down for deep cleansings because there have been reports of, Phillies players and other players coming down with the COVID-19 virus, coming down with that, so they've closed down some spring training facilities to kind of go through the deep cleanse. So that can still put a wrinkle in things, as still a big threat. Runs up and in, 3-1. Gray struggling with command right now. So that is sad because you want him to finish this inning, get through the inning, and then let Almonte pitch the 6th. 3-1, drops the curveball in there. Full count now. Naylor at first. Gray at 96 pitches. Payoff pitch to Mejia. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the fastball up. And there's out number 2 here in the 5th. Gray just pumps the fastball right by him. So I'm bringing up Trent Grisham, center fielder. First pitch to him. First pitch swinging at the fastball, fouls it off. 0-1. Hill 1. That runs outside, 1-1. 100th pitch coming up for John Gray. That's 100 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. Not exactly what you'd want. Here's the 2-1. Bouncer to first. Nice leaping grab by Daniel Murphy, who takes it to the bag to retire the side. John Gray gets through 5. We head to the bottom of the inning. Still tied at 2. 8-9-1 duo for the Rockies this afternoon. We're here in the bottom of the 5th. And Sadie Watney will start talking about something. Tony Wolters will lead things off. Solo homer back in the second. Tied the game at 2. First pitch misses down and in, 1-0. Let me ask you this question. What famous Greek might have invented baseball? Homer. That one's not very good. Where do baseball bats wash up? In the bat tub. Pitch runs in. It's 3-0 on Tony Wolters. Pitcher's spot on deck. And a called strike there for Tony Wolters. Hey, why was Cinderella kicked off the baseball team? Because she ran away from the ball. These dad jokes aren't very good. 3-1 to Wolters. Big swing and a miss there. He runs the count full. Richards has done this quite a bit. He's gone to 3-0 counts and then bounces back and makes it at least close as Wolters lines this one into center field for a leadoff single. So he's aboard to start the 5th for the Rockies. So man aboard for the pitcher's spot. We'll see if we get a pinch hitter here, and we will in Raimel Tapia. Tapia on the year, he's hitting .269. He's got a pair of homers, 7 RBIs. Again, getting called back up after Ian Desmond was traded to the Yankees this past week for Zach Britton. Haven't seen Zach Britton yet. Tapia. He's doing well down in AAA, and then spot opened back up for him. Fouls that one off. 1-1. 1-1 count. That runs up and in. 2-1. Bud Black looking on. We're tied at 2. Padres getting 2 runs back in the first off of a 2-run homer by Fernando Tatis Jr. Rockies got one back in the bottom of the first. And then Tony Wolters hit a home run back in the second that tied the game at 2. And that's where we sat. 3-1 the count on Raimel Tapia. And ball 4. So Tapia comes in off the bench, draws the walk. Now there's 2 men aboard here for David Dahl. Good chance here for the Rockies to take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Andres Munoz warming up in the Padres bullpen. Most likely we'll see Yency Almonte take over for the 6th. Richards comes set. Here's the first pitch to Dahl. And a grounder to short. There's 1 and there's 2. Just getting David Dahl by a step. Wolters moves up to 3rd, but a costly mistake there from Dahl is now there's 2 outs with the man at 3rd. Developed a little slower than you would think, and looks like they just do get Dahl, so that'll bring up Daniel Murphy. Doubled his last time up. Runner at 3rd. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. We're tied. That pitch misses down and in. Ball 1 on the curveball. Big spot here for Daniel Murphy. Number 6 on our list of father-son duos, Jose Cruz and Jose Cruz Jr. 2-0. So, here's the 2-0 to Murphy. Fouls that one off, 2-1. So Jose's played 19 seasons, 13 with the Astros, ranks among the franchise's all-time leaders in many offensive categories. Son was the 3rd overall pick in the 95 draft and put a 12-year career of his own. Had a 30-30 campaign with Toronto in 2001. Kind of a check me swing, and Murphy grounds out to Machado to end the inning. Rockies get a man to 3rd with 2 outs, but can't get him in. We head to the 6th, still tied at 2. 8-9-1 do it for the Padres. New pitcher coming in for the Rockies. So it will be Yency Almonte making his 16th appearance. 3-3, 4.01 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 8 walks, 33 2/3 innings of work. He'll face Jurickson Profar, the pitcher's spot, and then Will Myers. Profar is 0 for 1, had a walk back in the 2nd. First pitch, and this one is drilled into right field, and the Padres have the lead. First pitch he sees from Almonte, and Profar gives the Padres a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 6th. Not the way you want to come into a ball game. Almonte just throws one fastball, and Profar drills it. His 6th homer of the year. So, get a look here where that pitch was. Fastball inside around the middle. Garrett Richards will pitch here. He now has a lead here. Has a good pitch count. He's thrown 5 strong. He's 0 for 1. Walked back in the 4th. Fouls that one off 0-2. Well, that's been the rough part for some of these relievers is John Gray, who labored through 5 but left with a 2-2 score. Then Almonte immediately comes in and gives up the home run. As I've always talked about before, that's the rough part for the Rockies. They go through all this work, but then they immediately give up runs like that from that bullpen. Two-two, swing and a miss at the fastball. And there's out number 1. Honoring Will Myers. Luckily, after the leadoff single in the 1st, Myers has been kept quiet relatively. First pitch right back at Almonte. Smacked him hard. He makes the play. There's 2 outs, and he is down on his knees. He doesn't look like he's doing too well. That was a hard comebacker that drilled Almonte. And he walks it off a little and looks like he'll be okay. A couple of lefties warmed up in the bullpen. Greg Garcia is 2 for 3 in this one. That was a hard comebacker. Looked like it got him more so in the back, lower back or in the glute. So luckily Almonte is okay. That's going to bruise in the morning, though. Here's the 0-1 to Garcia. Misses high. 1-1. Drops the curveball in there for strike 2. 1-2 count now. Runs that one inside. Here's the 2-2 to Garcia. Gets a piece of that one. Fouls it off. Profar led off the inning with a home run. Gave the Padres a 3-2 lead. That one runs outside. Here's another father-son duo. Mel Stottlemyre and Todd Stottlemyre. They're just two of just four pitchers that are on this list of father-son duos as Garcia fouls off another one. Mel made 5 All-Star teams with the Yankees in 11 seasons, had a career 1.12 ERA plus, and a big swing and a miss. Gets Garcia to strike out. But Jurickson Profar gives the Padres a 3-2 lead with this leadoff home run. We head to the bottom of the inning. Rockies now trail by 1. As Nolan Arenado will lead things off. Luis Perdomo and Matt Strahm warm up in the Padres bullpen now. Arenado's 1 for 2, had a single back in the first. But Mel was also a good pitching coach. Had 4 World Series rings. That role with the Yankees after winning one with the Mets. He also had 2 sons in pitch in the majors. Todd carved out a 14-year career through more than 2,000 innings and won rings with the 92 and 93 Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have had a very good record of drafting and using children of baseball players, it seems like. And as Arenado fouls that one off. 2-1. In there for a called strike. 2-2 the count now on Arenado. Fouls that one off. Fastball a little outside, but he chases it. Payoff pitch to Nolan Arenado. And dribbler back up the middle, through for a base hit. Just past the glove of Garrett Richards. And gets it back up the middle. Arenado with his 82 hits on the season entering play. Still well behind Charlie Blackmon. So you see there the rest of the Rockies team in hits, and that's going to do it for Garrett Richards. So that'll do it for him. Goes 5 strong. And he leaves with a 3-2 lead as after giving up that single to Nolan Arenado. So we'll see who the new pitcher is here in a second. It's going to be Matt Strahm.
Number 55,
Matt Strahm, 38th appearance. He's 3-1, 1.52 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 9 walks, 41 innings of work. Been very good against left-handers, and he'll face Charlie Blackmon. Takes called strike 1 on the slider to the outside corner. Blackmon's been held hitless today. Blackmon still leads the National League in batting average. He was close to 400 a couple weeks ago. Now it's dropped down to the 380s. The 0-1 to Blackmon. This is high. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The count now on Chuck Nasty. Hey, why is it always so windy at Oracle Park? Because of all the Giant fans. That one's a classic. The 1-2 to Blackmon. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the fastball up and away. And there's out number 1. Well, there's a reason that Strahm has a 180 batting average against with left-handers. For that reason, a lot of them tailing away, living on the outside part of the plate. Now I'm bringing up Trevor Story, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Takes called strike of the knee, is 0-1. Story does have a home run, had one on Friday. His only hit of the series. The 0-1 to Story. Just misses outside, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. Story either having a hard time picking it up or just not swinging the bat. Okay, here's the 1-2. Arenado's at first. Up and away, 2-2. Two is line foul. Next on our list, talk about after this pitch. Called strike 3. Froze him, got him looking, and Story once again has the hat trick. Never really even took the bat off his shoulder. That was right down the middle. So it's up to Ryan McMahon. 2 outs, man at first. They're down 3-2. And a grounder over to Machado, who goes over to second, but Garcia wasn't to the bag yet. Who didn't even look and just fired to second, but Garcia's not to the bag, so everybody's safe. I bring up Sam Hilliard, who's 0-2, but in a tough left-on-left matchup. So a little gift there you can't let go to waste. First pitch to Hilliard. Called strike in the inside corner. Well, next on our list, Ray Boone and Bob Boone. It's been a lot of Boones. Bob was a 7-time This one's hit out to left over his nailer, foul territory, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So that'll do it for the Rockies. We head to the top of the 7th. They're still down 3-2. Heart of the order due up for the Padres here this afternoon on Father's Day. So Fernando Tatis Jr. will lead things off. Almonte still on the mound for the Rockies. So Ray Boone had a 114 OPS plus in 13 seasons. Had a pair of All-Star selections. And then his son Bob was a 7-time Gold Glove Award winner. Had 19 MLB seasons and ranks 3rd all-time with games caught. 2,225 career games caught. 2-1 the count now on Tatis Jr. Swing and a miss there. 2-2 the count now. Rockies pitching has been good. Batting has kind of struggled a little bit. Fouls this one back. Yesterday, game not broadcast, Rockies win at 5-0, shutting out the Padres. German Marquez throwing a 2-hit shutout. Full count now on Tatis Jr. And that misses inside, ball 4. So Tatis Jr. gets the leadoff walk. So we're here in the 7th. Manny Machado will stand in now. He's got a pair of doubles in this one. Number 3 on our list here, the father-son duos, Felipe Alou and Moises Alou. They have a whole baseball family. Felipe and Moises played 34 seasons between the two of them, had more than 4,200 hits, 500 home runs, 750 doubles. And then Felipe also had 14 years as a manager in Montreal and San Francisco. That is a baseball family. This one's ripped foul. Turns out if you're a baseball player and your dad was successful in the majors at some point, you're gonna get to play in Canada, it seems like. Or the Expos, and then the Blue Jays seem to do that quite a bit. Josh Naylor stand in. It's 0-2 in this one. Runner at first, 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th, Padres lead 3-2. Runner goes for second. The throw down. Not in time as Tatis Jr. swipes second easily, way ahead of the throw. Got a good jump there. At 19 miles an hour. Well ahead of that tag. So man at second. One out. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Naylor. Called strike. 1-1. We have two more on our list, so we'll have one in the 8th. And then one in the 9th. It's pretty easy to know which one, what they are. You can probably guess. Some of the most famous father-son duos in baseball. Down and in, 2-1. Fly ball steep center field. Back goes Dahl to the warning track. He's just shy of the warning track. Tatis Jr. isn't tagging. And now there's two away. Almonte. Francisco Mejia, who's 0 for 4. Misses ball 1. Mejia has struggled and 180 average with runners in scoring position. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Pitch misses high, 2-0. Just misses the called strike at the letters. Pitcher spot due up in the bottom of the inning. So we'll have Walters, the pitcher's spot, and then David Dahl. Looks like a pinch hitter in Chris Owings. Bouncer back to the mound. Almonte's got it. He'll throw on to first, and that will retire the side. Padres get a man in scoring position, but Almonte pitches around it. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Padres still lead at 3-2 here on this Father's Day afternoon. Well, Tony Walters will lead things off. Way back in the 2nd inning, he took the first pitch he saw and drilled it into right field. Gave the Rockies their 2nd run, and that's all they've been able to manage since then. It's Matt Strahm still in there, facing the lefties in this lineup. Called strike there on Walters, 0-1. Downside for the Rockies, a lot of their starters are left-handed hitters. As Walters chases that slider, 0-2. Comes the 0-2 pitch. And he lines this one into right field, but right at Will Myers. It doesn't really even have to move. And there's one away here in the Rockies' 7th. Pitcher spot due up. We'll see what the pinch hitter is. My guess would be Chris Owings. And it will be Elias Diaz. Elias Diaz will pinch hit. He had a good day yesterday. Some hits, had a couple of RBIs. So he watches that one for ball 1. Rockies have Brendan Rodgers, Garrett Hampson on the bench still. Chris Owings as well. They've already used Tapia. Looked like that was a strike, but calls it a ball. It's 2-0 on Diaz. Hits that one foul. 2-1 the count. Hey, which baseball player holds water? The pitcher. This one's hit to second. Garcia gathers it, and there's 2 away now. Also, why was Cinderella so bad at baseball? She had a pumpkin for a coach. That one's a knee slapper. We have David Dahl at the plate now. First pitch from Strahm, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Dahl's 1 for 3. Slow roller up the middle. Garcia's got it. The throw to first in the dirt, and Profar digs it out. That ends the inning. Rockies go down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 8th. Bottom third of the order due up for the Padres. They lead at 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wade Davis getting the call now for the Rockies. His 36th appearance. He's 2-2. 3.48 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 23 walks. That's alarming. 31 innings of work. So he'll face Trent Grisham, Jurickson Profar, and then the pitcher spot. So for some reason, Bud Black goes with the righty to face the lefties. First pitch to Grisham, called strike, 0-1. Well, Davis, we've seen quite a bit. The walks are probably his biggest weakness. Walks lead to runs. That's what he's struggled with. He's quickly ahead 0-2 on Grisham. Comes the 0-2 to Grisham. He's got him. So he strikes out on 3 straight pitches. Davis is pumped up.
The first baseman, number 10, Jurickson Profar.
Bring up Jurickson Profar, who is the difference maker in this one. Padres lead 3-2 off of his solo home run his last time up. First pitch he saw against Yency Almonte in the 6th. Here's the first pitch from Davis. Fouls that one off. Fastball down Main Street. 0-1. It's 1 for 2. Well, here's number 2 on this list of father-son baseball duos. This one's lifted high and deep to right field. Back goes Blackman to the wall, and it's gone. Second homer of the game for Jurickson Profar. His 6th of the year. It's now 4-2 Padres here in the top of the 8th. Not sure if he had gotten all of that one. But he does. Fastball again down the middle of the plate, a little inside. And just turns on it. And just hooks it fair. So we get a pinch hitter here in Eric Hosmer.
Number 30, Eric.
As the call to the bullpen, once again, doesn't pay off. Davis giving up the home run. Rockies now down 4-2 here in the top of the 8th. Pitch misses outside, 1-0 on Hosmer. Well, number 2 on this list is Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., which is pretty, well, obvious that they'd be on there. They actually played together with the 90-91 Mariners, most famously hitting back-to-back home runs against the Angels in 1990. At the time, Ken Griffey Sr. was finishing up a 19-year career, had 3 All-Star selections, a pair of World Series rings with the Reds. He was really steady, and then obviously Ken Griffey Jr., the megastar that he was, 630 home runs, 10 Gold Glove awards, and a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2016. Just missing being the first unanimous Hall of Fame player. This one's hit well out to left field. Back goes Hilliard to the warning track, and this one's gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Padres. As Wade Davis really struggling. Back-to-back home runs here in the top of the 8th. The Padres now have a 3-run lead. They have scored all 5 of their runs off of the home run. They've had 3 solo home runs, 2 of them by Profar. And then the 2-run homer by Tatis Jr. in the first. So that'll do it. They're going to go get James Pazos. making his 37th appearance. He's 1-2, 191 ERA, 33 innings of work, 33 strikeouts to 11 walks. Probably the most consistent reliever in that Rockies bullpen. Surprisingly enough.
The right fielder, number 4, Will Myers.
Pitch misses low. Here's the 1-0 to Myers. Bounces that one foul. Well, in a world, you probably would have put in James Pazos or even thrown Zach Britton in there to pitch the 8th with all those lefties coming up. But instead, Bud Black goes to Wade Davis. Down 3-2, and now instead they're down 5-2 heading into the bottom of the 8th. Still only one out here in the 8th. Dribbler to short. Story's got it. He'll throw Myers out. And finally out number 2. Wade Davis only gets a single out before giving up 2 home runs. It's Greg Garcia, who's 2 for 4, will come in. I always think it's cool, that story with Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad hitting back-to-back home runs. Tim Collins and Jake McGee warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Just kind of cracks me up. Not to be outdone by his father, he hits the home run. 1-0 misses down and in, 2-0. Two O's in there for a called strike.
Ball 3.
And that misses. Ball 3 now on the second baseman. Fernando Tatis Jr. waits on deck. Now would be the time to hit him. This one's lined into the gap in center field. That'll be extra bases for Garcia. So they'll bring up Tatis Jr. So back in the first inning, Tatis Jr., first pitch he saw from Gray, just drilled one into right field. Gave the Padres an early 2-0 lead. The Rockies managed to tie it at 2. But then Jurickson Profar's hit 2 home runs so far since then. And then Eric Hosmer added a pinch hit home run. Now the Padres lead at 5-2. Grounder to second. Diving stop by McMahon, but Tatis will reach. So as it goes, a base hit. Men on the corners now with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Things quickly falling apart for the Rockies, even in even more danger of letting this thing get out of hand. It's now 1-0, the count on Machado. Swings and fouls off that pitch, evens the count at 1. Hit out to deep left field. Back goes Hilliard to the wall, and this one is gone. 3-run homer by Manny Machado, and the Padres have blown this thing open here in the 8th. His 16th homer of the year. All 8 runs scored off of the home run. And this one's gotten out of hand. Complete opposite of what should have been happening. You should have probably brought in the left-hander to face. In the bottom third is the Rockies will go to their 3rd pitcher of the inning in Jake McGee. Making his 43rd appearance, 3-1 record, 4.05 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 17 walks in 40 innings of work. But this has just got to be frustrating for the Rockies.
Now batting, the left fielder,
Josh Naylor will bat now. Watches ball 1. So after 5, the Rockies were tied at 2. Yency Almonte immediately gives up a home run to Jerickson Profar, but then finishes out the 6th and 7th cleanly. Then Wade Davis pitches the top of the start of this inning.
1-1.
Somehow managed to at least get an out, but he also gave up 2 home runs, back-to-back home runs. So he got Trent Grisham to strike out to start the inning, and then Profar hit his 2nd home run. Then Eric Hosmer hit a pinch hit home run. James Pazos comes in, manages to get Will Myers. This one's hit into no man's land in left field. That'll be extra bases for Josh Naylor. But then Greg Garcia gets a hit. Then Fernando Tatis Jr. gets an infield single. Then Manny Machado hits a 3-run homer. And then we've got Jake McGee now, who gives up a double to Josh Naylor. So the Rockies' bullpen is just falling apart now. 2 outs, and Francisco Mejia up to the plate. Misses high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. This one's popped up. First base. Murphy's there. And mercifully, the inning is finally over. But the Padres hit 3 home runs in the inning. They now lead 8-2 heading to the bottom of the inning. Murphy, Arenado, and Blackman due up.
Your attention, please.
Jose Castillo will pitch for the Padres, his 26th appearance. He's 2-1, 4.74 ERA, 24 2/3 innings of work, 26 strikeouts, 14 walks. Now just sort of in a... Padres have a 6-run lead here. They put up 5 last inning. They're at the top of the inning. Rockies got a lot of work to do now. They've only got 6 outs to work with. As Murphy takes ball 1, Luis Perdomo warming up in the Padres bullpen. That misses outside, 2-0. It's the 2-0 to Murphy. Grounds this one foul. 2-1 the count. Fouls it off again. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the fastball up. And there's out number 1 to start the bottom of the 8th for the Rockies. They're running out of time now.
The third baseman, Nolan.
Bring up Nolan Arenado. Arenado hasn't had much success today. Watches a called strike one. Castillo just pounding the zone. Here's the 0-1 to Arenado. Misses low. 1-1. Well, it's a shame. The Pioneer League was supposed to have started on Friday. Grand Junction Rockies, the Rockies rookie affiliate, and the Orem Owls were supposed to have opening day on Friday in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Count is 1 and 2.
Fortunately, the season's been delayed indefinitely, along with the rest of minor league baseball.
Ball, that pitch is up.
This is high at 2-2. It's a shame, as that league is the one of the leagues slated to just completely be obliterated if they do the 42-team reduction. And Arenado watches a called strike three. Now there's two away here in the bottom of the eighth.
The right fielder, number
Charlie
19,
Blackmon coming up now.
Charlie Blackmon.
You know, it's got to be deflating for this team when you work so hard to keep it at least close, but then it takes three relief pitchers to get 3 outs.
Ball, that's inside.
To get 3 outs, and they give up 5 runs. So, you know, that's just got to be frustrating. The 1-1 to Blackmon misses low. 2-1.
2 ball.
Blackman's been held quiet today. Does have an RBI. Well, not necessarily. He did help drive in a run.
2 ball.
2-2 the count. That was all the way back in the first. Rockies haven't scored since the second off of Tony Wolters'
The count is
solo home run. This game's going a lot longer than you thought it would. Payoff pitch to Blackmon. And he hits this one into the gap in right field. That's going to get down for extra bases. Blackmon will cruise into second with a double. And the Rockies at least get a hit here. It's 18th double of the year. Bring up Trevor Story, who is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So looking to change his luck here. 2 outs, bottom of the eighth. Rockies down 8-2. Man at second.
the count 1-1.
Pitch runs high. One to Story. Big swing and a miss, comes up empty. It's now 1-2. Story in danger of once again wearing the golden sombrero. And a called strike 3 again. Trevor Story watches a called strike 3, his 4th strikeout of the game. His 2nd or 3rd looking. We head to the top of the 9th. Rockies down by 6. As Trent Gresham lead things off. Jake McGee still in there for the Rockies.
The center fielder, number 2.
Just trying to mop up this thing now. Comes the first pitch to Gresham. And a called strike gets ahead of him. Well, number 1 on the top 10 list that MLB.com had of the greatest father-son duos, sweeping slider there, is Bobby Bonds and Barry Bonds. This one's fouled off. Only
Ball. That's inside.
So we've got Bobby Bonds, who had a very good career, and then Barry Bonds, obviously, who on paper his career is very well. Should be in Hall of Fame if just on paper, but there's so many allegations and kind of dark clouds of steroid use, such that is overshadowed Barry Bonds. Despite having the single season and career home run records, has 7 MVP awards.
Helpful.
The two Bonds are the only two players in history to combine for at least 300 home runs, 400 steals, and the only two to go 20-20 in 10 different seasons. As Grisham fouls this one off. So the 2020 seasons, meaning 20 home runs and 20 steals. And a big swing and a miss, and Grisham sat down for round number 1. He led off last inning with a strikeout, and then the Padres rallied for 5 runs after his strikeout. Profar has 2 home runs in this one, both of them solo shots.
Ball 1.
Pitch misses high. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Grounder to first. Murphy's got it. He'll take it to the bag. And now he's retired.
Your attention, please. Big hit for San Diego.
Tommy Pham will pinch hit now.
Pham.
250 average, 8 homers, 24 RBIs on the year. Watches ball 1 high.
Ball 1. No.
1-0. Tommy Pham. 34 RBIs. Correct myself there. One-0 is hit high and deep to left field. Is this one going to get out? And no, it won't. As Hilliard makes the catch on the warning track to end or retire the side. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Rockies need a rally. They need a miracle on Father's Day. They're down by 6.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So Kirby Yates will take over on the mound, making his 29th appearance. Not a save situation.
Kirby.
Gunning to just get some work. He's 26 for 27 in save opportunities with a .64 ERA. So he'll face McMahon, Hilliard, and Walters.
The second baseman. Ryan.
Here in the bottom of the 9th, Rockies down by 5. They haven't scored since the 2nd inning.
1-0.
Yency Almonte on the hook for the loss. Here's the 1-0 to McMahon. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Big swing and a miss there. 1-2. He's got him. Gets him to chase. Now there's one away here in the 9th.
Number 22. Zach.
Up in the zone on McMahon, who can't catch up to it. Bring up Sam Hilliard. Hilliard's been held quiet today. Called strike there. It's been 0 for 3. Rockies still just trying to climb their way back up in the National League West and in the wild card standings. As we are almost done with June, over halfway through June, it will be interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline. As Hilliard lines that one foul. 1-2 the count still. The 1-2 to Hilliard. Swing and a miss. Down with the fastball up and away, and the Rockies are down to their final out.
The catcher, number 14, Tony.
And it's all down to Tony Wolters. Well, Wolters had a home run back in the second, and that was the last time the Rockies scored a run. The Rockies' bats went quiet, and then a bullpen implosion in the 8th inning. It's made it an 8-2 ball game. Swing through that fastball. It's now 0-2 on Wolters, and the Rockies are now down to their final strike. The 0-2 fouls that one off. Rockies have fouled off a lot of pitches. They've had a hard time making contact today. And a swing and a miss in the dirt, and that will end the game. Kirby Yates strikes out the side, and the Rockies lose this one 8-2. They can't complete the sweep here against the Padres. So that'll do it here on this Father's Day afternoon as the Padres win 8-2 over the Rockies. Yency Almonte takes the loss. Garrett Richards getting the win. Spud Black once again just distraught over these Rockies and the performance of this team. Almonte takes his 4th loss of the year. Padres get 13 hits compared to the Rockies 7. The Rockies shut out from the 3rd inning on. Richards goes 5 innings, gives up 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 5, 2 walks. Jurickson Profar, your player of the game, went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers. Almonte gives up 1 run on 1 hit in 2 innings of work, but he takes the loss. Some of the notables for San Diego: Machado goes 3 for 5, home run, pair of doubles. Tatis Jr., a home run, a couple of RBIs. Eric Hosmer with a pinch hit home run. Notables for the Rockies: Tony Wolters had a home run, Murphy with a double, Dahl with a run scored, and Charlie Blackmon had a double. But not much else for the Rockies here this afternoon as they drop game 3 here against the Phillies. I want to get a look here at the box score and really what it looked like. Rockies struck out a total of 13 times today. It's Trevor Story going 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Blackmon 2 strikeouts. Hilliard 2 strikeouts. So a rough day for the Rockies on this Father's Day afternoon. But that'll do it here on the Sideline Crowd. I'm Skylar Timmons. Thank you so much for joining and watching with us on this Father's Day. And once again, we'd just like to give a shout out to all the fathers out there. Shout out to my dad and sharing his love of baseball with us and whatnot. And wish them all a happy Father's Day and thank them for all that they do for us. And I'll leave you with one last little joke here of why did the police officer go to the baseball game? Because someone stole second base. That's a good old knee slapper. We'll remind you that we're not affiliated with Colorado Rockies, Major League Baseball, or MLB The Show 20. This is all for the Sideline crowd. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let us know how you're doing. And once again, Rockies lose this one 8-2. Hopefully one day we'll get you a broadcast where they actually can win again. But that'll do it here for me. Thank you so much for watching us, and we'll see you next time.